Dopamine. Everyone calls dopamine the pleasure chemical, the happiness molecule. You get a hit of dopamine and feel amazing, right? Nope. Here's the truth. Dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about wanting. It's not the chemical of reward. It's the chemical of pursuit. Your brain releases dopamine when you anticipate something good, not when you actually get it. That's the key. It drives you to chase, to seek, to hunt for the next thing. It's motivation in chemical form. Think about scrolling through your phone. Every time you pull down to refresh, dopamine spikes. Not because you found something great, but because you might. That anticipation, that maybe, that's dopamine working. And that's why you can't stop mid-scroll. You keep hunting for the next post, the next like, the next hit. But when you find it, the satisfaction lasts seconds. Then the dopamine fades and you're back to wanting again. It's the reason slot machines are so addictive, the reason you check your notifications obsessively, the reason people chase highs that never quite deliver. Dopamine is essential. It gets you out of bed, keeps you motivated, helps you focus on goals. But when it gets hijacked by social media, gambling, or drugs, it becomes a trap. Your brain mistakes the hunt for the goal. Dopamine doesn't make you happy, it makes you hungry. Cortisol. Everyone knows cortisol as the stress hormone. It's the villain in every wellness article. Lower your cortisol. Cortisol is killing you. Stress will destroy your body. Sounds terrifying, right? Here's the truth. Cortisol isn't bad. It's essential. It's your body's emergency response system. When you face a threat, physical or psychological, your body releases cortisol to help you survive. It mobilizes energy stores so your muscles have fuel. It sharpens your focus. It prepares you to fight or run. In short bursts, cortisol saves your life. The problem isn't cortisol. It's chronic stress. When cortisol stays elevated for weeks, months, years, that's when damage happens. Weight gain, especially around your midsection, weakened immune system, memory problems, anxiety that won't quit. Your body gets stuck in survival mode even when there's no actual danger, no emergency, no tiger chasing you, just work emails and bills and social pressure. High cortisol also disrupts sleep, because when cortisol is up, your body thinks you need to stay alert. Rest becomes impossible. Over time, it wears everything down. Cortisol isn't the enemy, chronic activation is. It's designed for sprints, not marathons. Modern life keeps it running constantly. Cortisol is supposed to save your life in a crisis, not run in the background of your entire existence. Norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is your brain's wake-up call. Most people have never heard of it, but they feel it every single day. That jolt when your alarm goes off? Norepinephrine. The sharpness you feel right before a deadline? That's norepinephrine too. It's both a hormone and a neurotransmitter, and its job is simple. Make you alert fast. When something demands your attention, your brain releases norepinephrine. It increases focus, sharpens reaction time, and makes everything feel more urgent. It's the chemical that says, pay attention, this matters. Your heart rate rises, blood flow increases to your muscles and brain, your pupils dilate so you can see better. You become faster, sharper, more reactive. It's what kicks in during a near-miss car accident, or right before you give a big presentation. Your body and brain snap into high-performance mode. But here's the problem. Chronic stress keeps norepinephrine flowing constantly. Your brain stays in high alert, even when there's no real threat, no emergency, no reason to be on edge. But the chemical doesn't care. It just keeps you wired. That's exhausting. Over time, too much norepinephrine leads to anxiety, insomnia, and burnout. It's your brain's alarm system. And just like any alarm, if it never stops ringing, you stop hearing the real emergencies. Epinephrine. Everyone knows adrenaline. It's the rush you get when danger hits. The chemical that makes people lift cars off trapped victims or outrun threats they'd never normally escape. Pure survival mode in liquid form. Epinephrine is the medical name for adrenaline. Same chemical, different name. It's released by your adrenal glands the moment your brain detects a threat, and it floods your system in seconds. Blood diverts to your muscles. Your heart pounds faster. Digestion shuts down completely because your body doesn't care about lunch when you're about to die. Your pupils dilate so you can see better. Airways open wider so you can breathe deeper. Your body transforms into either a weapon or an escape vehicle, whichever one keeps you alive. Time seems to slow down, or at least it feels that way. Pain gets muted. Strength spikes. Fear gets overridden by raw instinct. That's why people perform impossible feats in emergencies. Epinephrine unlocks everything your body's been holding back. But once the threat passes, the crash hits hard. Shaking hands, racing heart, total exhaustion. Your body just burned through its emergency reserves, and now it's empty. Epinephrine saves lives, but it's meant to be rare. Some people chase it through extreme sports, horror movies, risky behavior. Your body isn't designed to run on emergency mode constantly. Epinephrine makes you superhuman for a moment, but you pay for it later. Acetylcholine. Acetylcholine doesn't get much attention, but without it, you'd be a statue. It's one of the first neurotransmitters scientists ever discovered, and it controls two massive systems at once. First job, muscle movement. Every time you move, walk, type, blink, acetylcholine tells your muscles to contract. It's the messenger between your brain and your body, the signal that turns thought into action. Without it, those signals just stop. Your brain sends the command, but nothing happens. Second job, memory and learning. Acetylcholine is heavily involved in attention, focus, and forming new memories. When you're concentrating hard or trying to remember something, acetylcholine is working overtime. When levels are healthy, you get smooth movement and sharp thinking. Everything flows. When they drop, muscle weakness, brain fog, memory problems, trouble focusing. This is what deteriorates in Alzheimer's disease. The neurons that produce acetylcholine start dying off, and memory collapses with them. It's also why certain poisons, like nerve agents, are so deadly. They block acetylcholine receptors. Your muscles stop responding. You can't breathe. Paralysis sets in fast. You never think about acetylcholine, but it's running in the background of every conscious action you take. It's the chemical that connects thought to movement and memory to meaning. Glutamate. Glutamate is your brain's gas pedal. It's the most abundant neurotransmitter in your entire nervous system. Every thought you have, every memory you form, every skill you learn, glutamate is involved. It's what scientists call an excitatory neurotransmitter. That means it makes neurons fire. It gets them talking to each other, fast and loud. When you're learning something new, glutamate strengthens the connections between brain cells. That's how memories stick, how patterns form, how you get better at things with practice. At normal levels, glutamate keeps your brain sharp, quick reactions, clear thinking, effective learning. But too much glutamate becomes toxic, literally. When neurons get overexcited, they start to break down. They fire so hard and so fast that they damage themselves. Sometimes they die. This is what happens during a stroke. Blood flow gets cut off, glutamate floods the area, and brain cells start dying from overexcitation. It's like revving an engine until it explodes. Glutamate is also linked to anxiety when it's out of balance, migraines, even seizures in extreme cases. Your brain needs glutamate to function. Without it, everything slows to a crawl. It's the chemical that makes your brain go, but only if it knows when to stop. GABA. If glutamate is the gas pedal, GABA is the brake. It stands for gamma-aminobutyric acid, but just call it GABA. It's the main inhibitory neurotransmitter in your brain. While glutamate makes neurons fire faster, GABA slows them down. When your brain is moving too fast, firing too hard, GABA steps in and calms everything. It reduces excitability throughout your nervous system. It's what keeps your thoughts from spiraling into chaos. Without GABA, your brain would be in constant overdrive. No pause button, no way to stop. When GABA levels are balanced, you feel calm, focused, in control. Your thoughts move at a manageable pace. When GABA is low, anxiety, racing thoughts, insomnia, panic attacks. Your brain becomes a runaway train with no way to slow down. This is why alcohol and benzodiazepines make you feel relaxed. They enhance GABA activity. They're artificially hitting the brakes, but that's also why they're so addictive. Your brain starts depending on them to calm down. Over time, it forgets how to do it naturally. GABA is what allows you to relax, sleep, and think clearly. It's the off switch your brain desperately needs. Without GABA, every thought would feel like an emergency, and you'd never stop running from yourself. Endorphins. Endorphins are your body's natural painkillers. Everyone's heard of them. That runner's high people talk about? Endorphins. The reason you can keep going after getting hurt? Endorphins. The name literally means endogenous morphine. Morphine made inside you. Your body releases them during pain, stress, exercise, even laughter. They bind to the same receptors in your brain as opioid drugs like morphine and heroin. They block pain signals and create a sense of euphoria. When endorphins kick in, pain fades, mood lifts, stress melts away. It's why intense exercise can feel euphoric afterward, even though you just pushed your body to the edge. It's why people laugh through stressful situations, why certain injuries don't hurt immediately. Your body floods you with endorphins to keep you functional, to keep you moving when stopping could mean death. It's survival chemistry disguised as a reward, but the high doesn't last. Endorphins break down quickly. The relief is temporary. Some people chase that feeling through extreme exercise, spicy food, risky behavior, anything that triggers the release. But here's the thing. Endorphins aren't about feeling good. They're about not feeling bad. Endorphins don't fix the problem. They just make it hurt less while you deal with it. Oxytocin. Oxytocin gets called the love hormone, the bonding chemical. It's released during hugs, sex, childbirth, intimate moments. Sounds warm and fuzzy, right? Here's what it actually does. Oxytocin creates attachment and trust, deep, powerful bonds between people. It's what connects mothers to newborns, partners to each other, friends to their inner circle. Your brain releases it during physical touch, eye contact, emotional intimacy. Even petting a dog triggers it. When oxytocin spikes, stress drops, empathy rises, trust deepens. You feel safe with whoever you're near, connected, close. But here's the darker side nobody talks about. Oxytocin doesn't just make you love your people more, it makes you distrust outsiders more. It strengthens in-group and out-group bias, us versus them. It bonds you to your tribe while making everyone else feel like a threat, and it doesn't choose who deserves that bond. Manipulators exploit this. Love bombing triggers massive oxytocin release. You feel intensely connected to someone who's using you. That's why abusive relationships are so hard to leave. Your brain can't tell the difference between healthy attachment and toxic attachment. Oxytocin makes you feel connected. It just doesn't check if the connection is worth keeping. Vasopressin. Vasopressin is oxytocin's more intense, possessive cousin. Most people have never heard of it, but it shapes behavior in powerful ways. It's the chemical behind loyalty, protection, and territorial bonds. Vasopressin is both a hormone and a neurotransmitter. In your body, it regulates water retention and blood pressure. Pretty straightforward. In your brain, that's where it gets interesting. Vasopressin drives long-term bonding, especially in males. It's what makes rodents mate for life. It's what makes humans fiercely protective of their partners, their family, their territory. It creates deep, lasting attachments. But unlike oxytocin's warmth, vasopressin brings intensity. When it's active, you don't just bond, you guard that bond hard. It's linked to jealousy, possessiveness, mate-guarding behavior, the kind of devotion that can tip into aggression if someone threatens what's yours. Vasopressin also plays a role in social memory, recognizing faces, remembering who belongs in your circle and who doesn't. When it's balanced, you get loyalty and commitment. When it's dysregulated, aggression, anxiety, social dysfunction. Some people bond lightly, others bond like their life depends on it. That's vasopressin. It's the chemical that doesn't just connect you to someone, it makes you defend that connection like everything you have is on the line. Serotonin. Serotonin gets called the happiness chemical, the one that makes you feel good. Low serotonin equals depression, high serotonin equals joy. That's why antidepressants target it, right? Not quite. Here's what's actually happening. Serotonin isn't a happiness maker, it's a mood stabilizer. It doesn't create joy, it regulates emotional balance. It keeps you from swinging too high or crashing too low. Think of it as the chemical that keeps your emotions from spiraling out of control. And here's something most people don't know. About 90% of your serotonin isn't even in your brain. It's in your gut. That's right, your digestive system. Serotonin controls way more than mood. It regulates digestion, sleep cycles, appetite, even body temperature. It's a multi-system stabilizer running quietly in the background. When your levels are balanced, you feel calm, steady, content. Not euphoric, just normal. When they drop, irritability, anxiety, sleep problems, digestive issues, your emotional baseline shifts and everything feels harder. SSRIs, those common antidepressants, don't flood you with happiness. They just prevent serotonin from being reabsorbed too quickly. They're not adding joy, they're stopping the crash. Serotonin doesn't make you feel amazing. It makes you feel like yourself. Melatonin. Everyone thinks melatonin is a sleeping pill you can just pop. Take a tablet, knock yourself out, wake up refreshed. Sounds simple, right? Here's the truth. Melatonin doesn't make you sleep. It's a signal. not a sedative. Your brain produces melatonin naturally when it gets dark outside. The pineal gland, deep in your brain, releases it based on light exposure. Melatonin is basically your body's way of saying, hey, it's nighttime, start winding down. It doesn't force you unconscious, it just tells your internal clock what time it is. When melatonin rises naturally, your body temperature drops slightly. Drowsiness increases. Your system prepares for sleep, but it's gradual, gentle. This is why blue light from screens keeps you awake. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, blocking melatonin production entirely. Taking melatonin supplements doesn't knock you out like a sedative, it just reinforces the signal. Maybe consider sleeping soon. Timing matters more than dose. Take it too late, and you're just confusing your system. This is also why jet lag happens. Your melatonin schedule is stuck in the old time zone. Your body's confused about when night actually is. Melatonin won't override caffeine or stress keeping you awake. It's not strong enough for that. It's not a sleep drug, it's a darkness signal.